Welcome to Industry Gossip. My name is Manish Kata, and with me I have CMO Christopher Norton. We've been on a 8-week break while Christopher has gone to some Star Wars shit and was too busy to record, but we are now back.
We are back, and let's kick things off with my favorite segment.
Acquisition Watch.
Envestnet has acquired 401kplans.com. Underrated or overrated?
I think this is very underrated, and I'll say this, as a fellow TAMP or a TAMP software, it's extremely hard to really get into the 401k space. Even our own 401k is not under our TAMP because it's really just layer upon layer of bullshit when it comes to the entire 401k space. And clients come to advisors looking for 401k solutions, and an advisor can spend hours, if not days, trying to compile all the different lists that are out there. This website does all that work for you, saves you tons of time, and I think it's kind of their first step into maybe entering into the space into more of a TAMP-like setup, which would be very welcomed for a lot of the advisors that we speak with on a regular basis.
Very, very welcomed. All right, Goldman Sachs CEO has confirmed that their RIA custody service has been backburnered due to exec exits, budget cuts, missed deadlines. I don't know, underrated or overrated?
I mean, this is overrated because, is anyone really shocked that this is failing? Goldman Sachs, a traditional wirehouse, trying to get into the RIA custody space by acquiring an RIA custody tech solution that's built on old tech to begin with. I mean, we've been on record saying that this probably wouldn't work. It's welcomed. We need a new startup custody solution for RIAs. But fiercely independent RIAs, the last thing they're going to do is up and move all their business to, of all people, Goldman Sachs.
You said Goldman Sachs too many times. I started to get sleepy. So, legendary microcapsule developer Tifin Group has announced through their CEO that they slashed 10% of their staff. He cut his own pay, and all of this was to whittle down about $10 million from their annual burn rate about 30 days after they announced their latest round of funding. Underrated or overrated?
This is overrated news. This continues to just baffle me. This company was applauded for their growth. They went on an acquisition spree over the last couple years, a unicorn-like valuation, and that doesn't jive with immediately having job cuts. I just don't understand. And then also, they're talking about the current environment. LOL, the market's down 10 or 15%, and all of a sudden you have to reorg your entire business. Maybe once again, I just lack this whole startup understanding of literally not making money but still acting like you are. I just don't get it. I'm still confused as to what they actually do besides the microcapsules. I guess on the plus side, at least that the CEO and the executives are taking a step up and cutting their pay. I think that's a positive. But between this and Vise, I'm pretty disappointed in my fellow Brown CEOs.
I guess those apps weren't so super. One of my favorite things about this show is saying words together that I never thought I would, like this next one with Blackrock and Coinbase. They've created this new combo to leapfrog ahead of Fidelity and just try to completely dominate the crypto investing space. Underrated or overrated?
I think this is actually underrated. And look, it's no surprise that I'm not a crypto fan, but at the same time, this reminds me of the robo-advisor space where they come, robo-advisors came out of the gate, promising to turn the RIA world upside down. They didn't. Large asset managers then come and acquire them and either just kill them off or use portions of their technology. I think you might see the same thing in the crypto space because cryptos could not get to RIAs without going to traditional asset management firms or custodians. It's just not going to work. And I think they finally started to realize that. So partnerships like this, I think, are huge for folks like Coinbase and the crypto world because unless you can get yourself in front of RIAs or institutional investors, you're just not going to survive in the investing world.
Okay, last one for this outing. Vestmark nearly tripled Adhesion's AUM. Then they sold it to AssetMark, who is now reportedly going to plow a bunch of money into it to upgrade it. Underrated or overrated?
I think this is somewhere between properly rated and slightly overrated. This is a confusing acquisition to me because AssetMark, being a full-service TAMP, has their own technology, also self-custodies. And Adhesion, being a more of an open architecture TAMP, where they have hundreds of models. For example, Potomac is on Adhesion, but we're not on AssetMark because it's more of a closed, curated list. And it's a completely separate technology chassis. So I don't know what they're going to do with this thing. Either they're going to let it run on its own and use it as like a lead generating machine, bring in transition assets from transition AUM from different advisors, and then slowly get them over to AssetMark. I'm not really sure. This is a very confusing acquisition, and we're just going to have to see how this one plays out. But right now, it's I don't know. It's probably not much news.
I'd make a joke, but even after listening to you talk about it, I'm struggling to care.
Coffee.
That will do it for industry gossip. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with all those other shows that are trying to copy our format. Until next time, cheers.